welcome to Excellence Link Academy. Today, we're going to be looking into binomial expansion of rational or negative index. From our previous examples and from our previous class, we discussed on binomial theorem as a topic. We discussed that binomial theorem is subdivided, or perhaps the method for solving binomial theorem are three. We have the general method, which we discussed. We have the Pascal's triangle method, and also we have the combination method. These three methods are already been discussed. You can check the description of this video to see the link to those videos. Now, today we're going to be considering binomial expansion of rational numbers or negative index. What are rational numbers? Rational numbers are numbers. Let's say, for example, fraction. If you recall very well, when we were solving binomial theorem, the example what we have been doing, we had a plus b to power of what? 2, 3, 4, 5, that were doing things. So for this concept here, I'm going to be looking into something like this, 2 over 3. What if you are having a term being raised to power rational number? How do you solve it? You can apply general method to solve this. You can apply Pascal's triangle to solve this. Perhaps you can also apply what? Combination method to solve this. Rather, you apply the idea of what? Binomial expansion of what? Rational and negative index. Before we can start solving this, let's consider one concept: factorial. 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 A factorial is being denoted with what? Exclamation mark and exclamation mark. What is a factorial? A factorial is simply the multiplication of consecutive terms in descending order such that each term differs from the previous by 1 until 1. What are we saying? We are saying that if I have 5 factorial, we said the multiplication of consecutive terms, that is, what are consecutive terms? Terms like consecutive simply means numbers that follow each other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are consecutive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are consecutive. So when we say that factorial is what? Consecutive term. In what? In descending order, right? In descending order. So 5 in descending order consecutively becomes what? 5 times 4 times what? 3 times 2 times 1. So this is what? Consecutive terms in descending what? Order, such that each term differs from the previous by 1 until 1. The difference between this and this is 1. This and this is 1. This and this is 1 until 1. That's the idea of factorial. Right? That's the idea of factorial. So 5 factorial will be equal to, this time this is 20, this is 60, 60, 120. If I'm not mistaken. So that's my answer to that manual. If I have 4 factorial, 4 factorial simply means what? 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 2 times 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2, that becomes 24. I have 24. So if I have 3 factorial, 3 factorial simply becomes what? 3 times 2 times 1. That is what? 6. Right? If I have 2 factorial, it simply means 2 times 1, which is what? 2. If I have 1 factorial, obviously 1 times 1, which is what? 1. So here is the concept, here is the idea of factorial. But I want you guys to observe something. If I write 5 5 times 4 factorial. Why? We just said 5 factorial is all this. But 4 factorial starts from 4, 3, 2, 1. And I can see all these 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. So that becomes 5 times what? All these are what? 4 factorial. So I can write 5 factorial as what? 5 times 4 factorial. That's the idea. Similarly, if I have 4 factorial, it can also be written as what? 4 times 3 factorial. Also, if I have 3 factorial, it can also be written as what? 3 times 2 factorial. If I have 2 factorial, it becomes what? 2 times 1 factorial. If I have 1 factorial, that becomes what? 1 times 0 factorial. Because note, 0 factorial is what? Is 1. You can take a calculator and punch 0 factorial, you have 1 as your answer. So here is the relationship between factorial. So now let's start the idea of binomial expansion of rational negative index. Alright, for the concept behind binomial expansion of rational or negative index, it has a formula which I'm going to be giving you now. So that formula is what we're going to be using to attempt question based on rational or negative index. So it's given by this: 1 plus t to the power of n is equal to 1 plus nt, right? Plus n into n minus 1 t squared over 2 factorial plus n into n minus 1 n minus 2 t cubed over 3 factorial. It continues. It continues. So here is the formula to solving a question if you are having negative index or rational index. This is for the positive. For the negative, becomes 1 minus t to the power of n is equal to 1 minus nt plus n into n minus 1 t squared over 2 factorial minus n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 t cubed over 3 factorial. It continues. So here is the formula to solve any question given either the power is fraction or negative. This is the formula to apply. Note this one, it's very, very important. Let's take an example and let's see how we can solve question by applying the concept of this. So we are told to find the first 4 terms of the expansion this. So we are told to solve this. Find the first 4 terms of this expansion. My first task here is to rewrite this in index form. I know very well that I can write this in index solution. If I write this in index, I'll be having 1. I have 1 over 1 minus x. In indices, I can write this as saying what? 1 minus x to the power of what? Minus 1. From the idea of what? Indices. That says that if I have 1 over a, it can be written as what? A to the power of minus 1. So here's the idea I applied here. So now, what is my next approach? At this point, I have this, right? So what I give you two formulas. The first one is for positive, the other one is for what? Negative. And I'm having what? Negative here. So compare that 10. I have 1 minus x to the power of what? Minus 1. And for negative, I have 1 minus t to the power of n. Right? So this one, this for negative 1, right? So now 1 is to 1, I'm done. T is to n. T is to n. So my t becomes what? X. Now n is to minus 1. So my n is what? Minus 1. What I'm doing is that I want to know my parameters. I want to know t. So t is corresponding with what? X. Likewise, n is corresponding to what? Minus 1. So this is, I have t to be this and n to be this. So recall formula. Recall that we said for a negative index, formula goes below. 1 minus t to the power of n is equal to 1 plus n1 minus nt plus n into n minus 1 t squared over 2 factorial plus n into n minus 1 n minus 2 t cubed over 3 factorial. Now we are told that find the first four terms. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4 terms. If you are asked to find the fifth term, you can just continue. That becomes minus n into n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, t to the power of 4 over 4 factorial. Continues that way. So we are told to find the first 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first 4 terms there. So now if I input value, if I work on this, I have 1 here, right? So I know that this term here, representing this one here, that becomes 1 minus x to the power of what? Minus 1 becomes what? 1, I have 1, minus, I have a minus sign, n is what? Minus 1 initially. So my n was what? Minus 1. Minus 1 here. Minus 1. Right? Times t. Times t was what? Our t is x. Times x. I have this. Plus, I have a positive sign. N was what? Minus 1. Into n is minus 1. Minus 1 minus 1. Close the bracket. T was what? X. That becomes x squared. I have t squared becomes what? X squared over 2 factorial. 2 factorial. Next up, I have, plus, minus, plus, here becomes minus. Here becomes minus. So, minus, n is minus 1. Let's go down here. Minus 1. Minus 1. This is minus here. So n is minus 1 into minus 1 minus 1 into minus 1 minus 2. T becomes x. T is x. That becomes x to the power of 3 over 3 factorial. Right? So at this stage, if I proceed, I'll have 1 minus into minus 1 times x. I have minus x. I have this. Plus minus 1. This is minus 1. Into minus 1 minus 1. That becomes minus 2 x cubed over 2 factorial. Minus, this is my minus here. So I have minus 1 into minus 1 minus 2 into minus 1 minus 3. Minus 1 minus 2 becomes minus 3. X to the power of 3 cube, rather 3 factorial. Next up, if I proceed, I'll be having 1 minus multiply minus, I have plus x. This is the positive sign. Minus 1 times 2 becomes what? Plus 2. That becomes 2x cubed. This multiply this becomes 2 s cubed is here over what? 2 factorial. But we just said 2 factorial is what? 2 times 1. That becomes what? 2. So therefore, here it becomes what? 2. Next up, I have minus. Right? So minus 1 minus 1 times minus 2, that becomes 2 into 3. So minus 2, right? Into minus 3, that becomes, yes again, minus 1 times 2 becomes what? 2. So 2 times minus 3 becomes what? Minus 6. Minus 6 s cubed over 3 factorial. So mathematically, if I proceed, I'll be having 1 plus x plus 2s cubed over 2 minus times minus is what? Plus 6s cubed over 3 factorial. At the end, if I expand this term 1 minus x to the power of what? Minus 1. At the end, I'll be having 1 plus x plus 2 cancel out 2. I have x squared, right? Plus this is 6. We said 3 factorial is what? 6. 3 factorial is equal to 3 times 2 times 1, that is 6. So I have 6 here. So 6 cancel out 6, I have x cubed. Right? I have